Hello and welcome to Just One More Watch, and welcome to what was a really difficult video for me to make. Not just because choosing the watches was hard, even though it was. I'm a guy whose channel name is Just One More Watch, talking about one watch collections. If you enjoy this video and appreciate my pain, I would appreciate it if you would like the video and subscribe to the channel by hitting the big button with the word subscribe on it. Yes, indeed, today we are discussing the oxymoronic one watch collection. One watch that does everything you could possibly want it to. Nothing too fancy, nothing too flashy, nothing too out there, just 10 watches that will integrate seamlessly into your existence and keep you on time for all of life's adventures. I've got 10 of them to show you with a couple of bonuses, ranging from just under $200 to just under $1,000 that I think would make fantastic daily drivers. I'll leave links to all 10 in the description of the video in the order that I show them. Use those links as a starting point, but of course, find the best deals for you. One watch that will definitely not be featuring on today's list is my own creation, my own attempt at the perfect one watch collection, the Erebus Ascent. Even though I think it is one of the best all-rounders you can buy for well under $500, it would be completely immoral of me to spruik my own wares in a video like this, and to tell you that they will be shipping in a few weeks' time from only $399 plus postage. Like I said, definitely not going to be on today's list, definitely no link in the description. So let's start at number one then with one of the more affordable offerings on the list, and a watch that I highly rate. It's the Seiko Dress KX. Now, technically these are SRPEs and they can be found pretty much anywhere for around the $200 US mark, just around 300 Aussie dollars here in my local market. Why do I like these so much? Well, Seiko is a powerhouse when it comes to affordable watches, and these are so much more than just a bezel-less dive watch. The case is super smooth and super comfortable. They have a super reliable 4R36 caliber in them with the bonus of a day-date complication, decent lume, and a bracelet that, whilst not being the best in the world, is certainly more than acceptable for everyday wear. Now, they don't feature sapphire crystal, it's only mineral, so it is going to be a little bit more prone to scratching if you treat your watch roughly, but you can always upgrade that yourself later on if you want to. Likewise, once your bracelet's looking a bit tired, you can pick up a replacement for that too. Seiko's movements are known for giving years and years of reliable service, and any watchmaker should be able to either repair them or replace them when the time comes to do so. They're just really nice, super low-key, unassuming watches if you're looking for a long-term life companion. Moving on to number two, we've got kind of the same thing as the Seiko, but for around 3 times the price of the Seiko. It does, however, come with some significant upgrades over the Dress KX. It's the Tissot Gentleman, one of 2 Tissots that make today's list. Now, you get plenty of options with the Gentleman. You can get one with a quartz movement if that's your preference. Quartz, of course, has a large number of benefits, such as lower purchase price, lower servicing cost, they're more accurate, more rugged, more reliable, but they don't have the romance of a mechanical movement, I grant you. You're looking at around $300 for a quartz, around $600 for an auto, the auto being powered by an ETA Powermatic 80 movement with an 80-hour power reserve. Now, power reserve is not a massive factor if it's your one and only watch, but it's still nice to have nonetheless. It does wear a bit big for a 40 and has that awkward 21mm lug width if you do want to put it on a leather strap occasionally, but apart from that, it's a cracker. Another low-key long-termer from a well-respected Swiss brand that has plenty of cachet but is neither ostentatious nor showy. Alright, we started off with a couple of simple three-handers. Let's go a little bit left of centre with my next choice, that being a Laco Flieger. Now, I have long maintained that a Flieger can make a really nice, slightly unusual choice for a daily driver. And at the affordable end of the market, Laco are my pick. Again, you're not short of options here. First, you have to choose between Type A and Type B dials. Then you get to pick between 2 different sizes, either a 39 or a 42. And then you get to choose from a number of different dial colours, other than just traditional Flieger black. Finally, the options list. Now be careful here because you can end up spending quite a bit more than you initially planned if you're the type of person who likes to tick all the boxes. These are made in Germany by one of the companies that made the original Fliegers back in World War II, so you get a heap of provenance with your daily and you don't have to spend more than $500 to get it. Talking of provenance, at number 4 it's a watch that I really rate and I think most of the watch community really rates as well. It's great value for money, it consistently has made my value roundup lists. It's from a brand that used to be American but are now Swiss owned. Of course it's a Hamilton, of course it's the Hamilton Khaki King. $539 US should get you one of these Kings if you are prepared to go grey market for it. And for your $539 you get such a capable all-rounder. Classic field watch looks, again proving that it's not just simple sports watches that make great dailies. This one also has an ETA movement, but with a rather unusual day and date configuration at the 12. It's a classic 40-20, so should fit most wrists, and it has a decent number of micro adjust holes in the clasp as well. The two small insects in the ointment are no anti-reflective coating on the crystal, so you don't always get perfect clarity, and only 50 meters of water resistance, so only really suitable for swimming pools. You probably want to leave it behind if you are going snorkeling or diving. And as a cheeky bonus option here, if you prefer a slightly smaller watch, then the Khaki Field Automatic is the one for you rather than the King. It's 38, so it should suit you better. Plus it has more water resistance than the King does at 100 meters. Okay, moving on to number 5, if you have a bit more budget, if you are prepared to spend closer to $1,000 US, I can highly recommend having a look at the Christopher Ward Sealander C63. The Sealander, despite being the most expensive watch on the list today, still provides a relatively affordable and really high quality alternative to the more expensive Swiss luxury brands. Sealander, Aquaterra, get it? Now, Christopher Ward don't have the same cachet as those Swiss luxury brands, but they know how to make a good looking watch and they know how to make it really well for the price. Again, chances are you'll find one of these to suit your wrist and your personal taste. They do 36 mils and 39 mils in a variety of different dial colours. I'm a simple man with simple tastes. I'd be looking at a black dial or a white dial variant for the long term, but that's me. You pick the one that matches your personal aesthetic the best. Okay, so I did say that any watch could be a one watch collection, and I'm on record in the past as saying that a good black dial dive watch does pretty much anything that you could want it to do. So here are a couple of good black dial dive watches. Starting at number 6 with the Orient Kamasu. Now the Kamasu has been out for close to 5 years now, and as far as I'm concerned, it's still the number one choice if you want a big brand automatic diver at around the $200 US price point. What makes this one a great choice for a one watch collection is a proven reliable day-day automatic caliber and the inclusion of sapphire crystal rather than the mineral crystal that is found on many of its Japanese big brand contemporaries. Dive watches also have the added benefit of being really legible and easy to read if your eyes are getting a bit older, thanks to big hands and big indices. Plus you get another added bonus of a dive time bezel which you can use to time parking meters or boiling eggs, as well of course dives if that's really what you're into. Next up, it's another diver, and I'm gonna recommend a watch that I personally wasn't really into when I reviewed it, but I still think it would make a killer one watch collection, and that is the Citizen Fujitsubo. This is a modernized and updated reissue of a classic Citizen, although to be honest, it doesn't look any different from much of their contemporary range of divers. It features an in-house Miyota Citizen Caliber 9000 series movement with a 42-hour power reserve, and it has one trick up its sleeve that only one other watch on today's list shares. It's made of titanium. If you've never run a titanium watch long term as a daily, you don't know what you're missing. Let me tell you what you're missing. About 33% of the weight of the equivalent steel watch. Now, some people enjoy feeling as well as seeing a watch on their wrist, Personally, I like my dailies to be unobtrusive, so titanium really helps with that. Plus, Citizen coat all of their titanium watches with a scratch-resistant coating that should help keep it looking better for longer. Everything I said about the Kamasu rings true here: extra legibility, extra water resistance, dive time bezel. I would not describe the Fujitsubo as a thrill a minute visually, but as another under-the-radar long-term option, that's probably okay. At number 8, it's another Seiko, admittedly a bit more expensive than the first one, but still pretty good value once you see what you actually get for your cash. It's their relatively new Alpinist. Now, the original Alpinist was an affordable classic, then Seiko discontinued it and brought out a new one for a lot more money. But that was a couple of years ago now, so prices on these things have dropped considerably. You can pick one up here in Australia for under 800 Aussie dollars, that's just over 500 USD equivalent. And for that, you definitely get something a little bit more quirky than a standard 3-hand plus date complication. There's a Cyclops on the date for a start, again, great if you need a bit of extra help, and you get an inner rotating compass bezel. I'm not sure how many people will be using that compass bezel on a daily basis, but it does provide a point of interest. Plus you get 200 meters of water resistance, screw down crown, decent lume, and a 70-hour power reserve. Now that $500 price tag puts it right in the range of those two Hamilton Field watches, but I think it deserves to be there. Next up, it's a bit of a 2-for-1 at number 9. Now, I'm sure you've already noticed how heavily represented Japan and Japanese brands are here today. We've had 2 Seikos, 1 Orient and 1 Citizen, and now it's Casio's turn. Casio don't make automatics, they only make quartz watches, and they keep the best of them for themselves. They have a Japanese domestic market only line called Oceanus that I cannot speak highly enough about. Solar powered quartz watches, many of them capable of connecting to either your mobile phone or to the atomic clock for timing updates, available in either steel or titanium, and the best part is they don't cost a fortune. I'd recommend you have a look at the T200 if you want a bigger, chunkier stainless steel watch as your one and done. The finishing on this watch is absolutely outstanding for the money. It's finished like a watch costing several thousands of dollars rather than under $400. Or if you want something smaller and lighter, look at the S100. This one is titanium and it's super comfortable as a consequence. Both watches feature sapphire crystal with incredible clarity, lume on the hands and the indices, and more than enough water resistance to cope with the rigors of most people's daily lives. At number 10, now I did foreshadow this a little bit earlier on when I said there were 2 Tissots on today's list. I also foreshadowed it by wearing it on my wrist today. You've seen the gentleman, it's the turn of the PRX. Now, whether you love or hate the late 70s integrated bracelet styling, the Tissot is a killer all-rounder. Not only do you have 2 different size options, 35mm and 40mm, and a ridiculous number of different dial color variations, just like the gentleman, you get the choice of quartz or automatic, and even a couple of digital display PRXs. So like I said, if you are on board with the styling, you are just bound to find one that suits you personally. They all have 100 meters of water resistance, just about enough lume to get you through the night, and are absolutely adaptable enough to go from office to beach and back again. You know, fashion goes in cycles, and it's the same for watch fashion. Integrated bracelets have been all the rage for the last couple of years. They might not be all the rage in a couple of years' time, but if you like the look of the watch, that simply doesn't matter. This type of watch, the One Watch collection, is not about what's hot and what's not. It's about what you want to wear for the foreseeable future. And I could definitely see a future where I only wore a PRX. So there you have it, another top 10 list plus a couple of bonuses. As discussed, you can wear anything you like as a One Watch collection, but all of the watches I just showed you make for really sensible options. Big brands, good warranties, easy servicing and repairs, all of them on bracelets, all of them with enough lume to get you through the night and enough water resistance for most circumstances. All bar one with sapphire crystal, plenty of Swiss-made options if that's important to you. The question then becomes, can you restrict yourself to just one watch? Leave me a comment, let me know if it's possible, and if so, what your affordable choice would be. Well done for making it all the way to the end of the video. Why not check out my head-to-head between those two Casio Oceanus models that I recommended, or check out my original unboxing of the Seiko Dress KX. Thanks for watching this one. I'll see you again in the next one.